Welcome to Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
The only podcast to bring you insights on the world of hunting, fishing, and boating. With your host, J. Paul Jackson.
You don't say much, do you?
Now, load up and sight in. This is On the X.
Welcome to the Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors. J. Paul Jackson here with you this week, along with co-hosts Dave Reynolds and Jeffrey Whitlock, coming to you from our studios out in West Jordan, Utah. What's happening, guys?
Oh, not much.
Everything is going pretty well, except for this weather. I mean, we have rain. We got the rain going on. That's what's going on here in Utah, J. Paul. We get rain like 4 days out of the year, and today happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day.
They call it a tropical, what do they call it? A tropical river or something? That their new terminology.
Wait. A tropical river? Like depression,
what is
maybe?
the new, meteorologists? Yeah, they come up with these new terms every year for these storms, and what is it? It'll come to me. But anyway,
let us know.
I know there's like El Nino and El Nino, whatever the hell that means, but
yeah, that's undetermined whether we're El Nino or La Nina. They haven't determined that yet. But we are a tropical river or something that the meteorologist uses the term. I'll look it up. But
look that up. I think you're making that up. I think
it's been great. Actually, it's just what we need, and we got since February 1st, the mountains have received 100 inches. That was of 2 days ago, and they got another 2 feet. So
yeah,
124 inches since February 1st.
wow, amazing. Well,
400 inches year to date. So I mean, this is just what we need. California too. They're supposed to get 3 feet this weekend. We're supposed to get 40 inches by Saturday.
Man.
So I love it. Bring it on. Because you know what that means? It means not only good skiing, but good hunting next fall.
Amen.
We'll finally have water.
Maybe the Great Salt Lake will be a Great Salt Lake once again. That would
just
be cool.
a great salt and mud puddle.
Amen. Amen. Well, we've also got with us a really special guest today. And I guess we're fixing to let the cat out of the bag too, Jeffrey. We've been, pretty active in the catfish world for the last several years, but particularly in the last year or so with the introduction of the Excel Boats Stormcat 230. And I've had the good fortune a couple of times in the last year of being a guest on one of the most popular shows out there in the catfish community, Catfish Weekly TV, which has been on Catfish Weekly's YouTube channel for quite some time now. And now they're also moving to Facebook, and just in the last few weeks, we have had the opportunity to partner with Doc and Lyle, the good folks at Catfish Weekly, and Excel Boats is now the official boat sponsor of Catfish Weekly TV. And as our special guest today, we welcome one of the two hosts, the front man for Catfish Weekly, Mr. Lyle Stokes himself. Lyle, man, good to have you with us today.
We're doing wonderful. We're really happy to be here. And like I was saying, we're so proud of Excel Boats for jumping into the catfish community like they have. Everything you guys do and the support that you're doing for our family of catfish people is wonderful.
We appreciate that a lot. I'll tell you what, we've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of colorful characters definitely out there in the catfish world. And,
yes, there is.
Getting to know you guys, and it's been wonderful. And I tell you, I can't wait next week. We actually get to hook up. I guess I haven't seen you since the Mississippi River Monsters event in person at the Catfish Conference.
Absolutely. We'll be there doing live shows for 3 days, and we fully expect to have you guys over and sit down with us for a while. And we're going to be out patrolling the area and doing some live feeds while we're out, and we'll stop in, and I want to see them new boats because I'm pretty excited about the Stormcat, and for good reason.
Yeah, and we've got a new model that we're unveiling there at the Catfish Conference, and we could tell you about it, but if I did, then Jeffrey'd have to kill you.
And I would. It is.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
It's one of those secrets that I spend a lot of time, like a majority of my time, trying to keep it under wraps, because there are, what they say, loose lips sink ships, and the more people I start to tell and show pictures and stuff, it starts to leak out, and I spend a lot of time trying to keep it under wraps. So J. Paul, hush it up over there. How about?
I just said we're going to unveil something new. I didn't say what, okay? You're going to be there. Yeah, and everybody that listens to the show that's at the Catfish Conference, you can get to actually meet Jeffrey in person. He's going to be there all 3 days with me and DJ and our engineer and boat designer, Josh. I wish Dave was coming. Why aren't you coming?
I wasn't invited. I guess, Jeffrey's got it handled.
He's not going because I'm going. I pretty much took Dave's spot this year.
Actually, I can have all our pro staff, George Young there, Jeff Dodd, Chad Waugh, Ben Goebel. So we'll have a pretty good team. We'll have a good group there, and all these guys fishing out of the Storm Cat, and they can provide pretty valuable input on their thoughts of the Storm Cat. 2 of them have been fishing out of a Storm Cat for nearly a year. Jeff Dodd got his late last year. George has had his a year now. So he's got a lot of hands-on. He's probably got the most hands-on experience with a Storm Cat out of anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Ben Goebel and I have both driven George's boat almost as much as George has.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, and we're going to have some really, really cool color schemes there in these new boats. Also, Ben's going to be there with his brand new Dallas Cowboy cheerleader edition of the Storm Cat 230. I believe.
That's gonna look sharp. It's the new Peterbilt blue.
Yeah, Peterbilt blue. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Atmospheric River. Hey, I just thought of it. Sorry to interrupt. Atmospheric River.
Atmospheric River. That's not a real thing.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure you made that up.
No, I did not. That's a official term.
Yeah, well, that's what we're experiencing here because it's been raining
Atmospheric River.
about every other day. It's been raining like a cow peeing on a flat rock here.
Yeah, you've had the Atmospheric River all fall.
Lyle, what about up there where you're in central Missouri, right?
Yes, sir. Southwest Missouri.
Southwest. How far are you from Springfield?
I am 36 miles north of Springfield.
So
Okay.
you're near Lebanon.
Yes, I am. I'm like cross country, probably 30 miles.
I know Lebanon.
Is Bass Pro Shop still the #1 tourist attraction in Missouri? I know for a long time it was.
Bass Pro Shop is the #1 tourist attraction in the state. It is also the #1 shipper for UPS in the state.
Yeah. So Branson is still #2 behind Bass Pro Shop.
That is correct.
Surprised me, especially with the new store in Memphis. They have a lot of stores now versus when that was their only store. So
By the way,
Yep, I remember. Pardon me?
Lyle, did you know that a Catfish was responsible for the big Bass Pro Shops in Memphis at the Pyramid?
No, I did not.
Did you guys not know that?
a Catfish was responsible.
The true story. True story.
Like, so what? Like, it was the architect, like they had hired because that was what they needed to do. So it's a Catfish architect.
Or he spoke to somebody and somebody had a vision.
No,
His
no,
cat
no.
spoke to me and told me I got to build it.
Listen, like
Build it, they will come.
no, Johnny Morris was in Memphis, and he came to Memphis to go catfishing with our buddy Bill Dance. And while he was there, he told Bill before they went out fishing about his thoughts about putting a Bass Pro Shop there in the Pyramid. A guy named Sidney Schlinker, who was a dubious character, apparently built the Pyramid or was responsible for getting it there. And yeah, the Memphis State or University of Memphis Tigers played basketball there and stuff. But apparently a lot of the financing behind it went belly up, and so it was sitting vacant. And Bill told Johnny that he thought he was crazy pretty much, as I get the story from Bill. And Johnny's like, nah, man, it's destined to be, this is going to work. And he said, yeah, let's go fishing. So they launched from Mud Island up catfishing on the Mississippi River. And Johnny made some statement about they were going to catch a monster cat. And, that was going to show Bill that it was meant to be. Well, not only did they catch a monster, like a couple hours after he made that statement, they caught a catfish. There's a picture of it in a replica in the entrance there at Bass Pro. They caught a catfish that weighed over 100 pounds. And when they landed that boat, Bill turned to Johnny and they looked at each other and he said, "Hey, let's open a Bass Pro at the Pyramid." And that's a true story. That's how it came to be. Can't believe you didn't know that, Lyle.
No, I didn't. I know the story on the original startup of Bass Pro, where Johnny's dad had a bunch of Brown Derby liquor store. Johnny started selling tackle out of those stores, and his dad told him that, "Son, you're never going to make any money selling fishing plugs in a liquor store." And that's how he got started. And Brown Derby is still one of the predominant package stores around. They also have wine and different things at different stores, but that's how he got his start, was selling fishing stuff at Brown Derby liquor stores.
And
That's it.
And I'll tell you another quick fact about those Bass Pros. There was one in Columbia, Missouri. When they started out, they weren't all company stores. You could be a licensee or whatever, and have Bass Pro in a privately owned store. A lot of them were in liquor stores. And in Columbia, Missouri, there was one that was owned by a fellow named Tom Foster, and it had a huge sign out front, Bass Pro Shops, and then another big sign right under it that said guns, liquor, ammo. What a combination.
Back in those days, that wasn't out of line. I mean, that was everywhere. A lot of sporting goods stores was also liquor stores and stuff in those days. Times have changed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's still a few though. Browning has some of their big dealers are liquor and gun stores. It makes it easy for the ATF.
Keep everybody in the same building. Exactly. Easier to control that way.
Guns, liquor, cigarettes. There you go. Wow.
I remember getting one of my first Bass Pro Shop catalogs. I think it was back in 1973. I remember seeing in the back of Field and Stream, in the very back, they have those real small ads. There's just a small little ad for, Bass Pro Shops, bass fishing gear. And boy, we've gone a long way since then, but that was long before they had Tracker. He had his own line of rods, fishing rods, both fiberglass and boron rods, if you remember the boron rods.
I do. I had a couple of boron rods. I had a couple of Bass Pro Shops boron rods. Let me tell you something. They are great conductors of electricity too.
I bet.
I was bass fishing one day.
You had a shocking experience?
Well, I was bass fishing one day on a farm pond in Arkansas with my boron rod with an Abu Garcia. Remember the reel, Lyle, that you could pop the side off and take the spool out and change the spool in?
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was like $100 in 1978 or something,
right,
for a reel back then. Well, I had one of those, and I was fishing in this farm pond, and there was a bull enclosed in a electric fence, and I didn't realize it, but I had walked real close to the electric fence, actually cast over it, and I was working my lure back in, and my wet monofilament line dipped down and touched that electric fence, and I was standing in ankle deep water where I was wading the edge of that pond. Let me tell you something. Oh my gosh, I learned real fast that they are very, very good conductors of electricity, and so is wet monofilament line, by the way.
I think that explains a lot, J. Paul. I think that's the answer to pretty much every question. Right there. There's the answer.
Sounds like a Kodak moment to me.
Yeah. And I really thought he hit a big one. Man, that thing, what a stroke.
Actually, when
10-pound bass.
No, when it hit me the first time, I jerked and I pulled the line back up off of the and I started screaming and looking around because I thought the damn bull was attacking me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I have caught a bull, by the way, fly fishing.
You caught a bull one time?
Yeah, got him right in the ear with one of my flies on a back cast.
How'd that turn out for you?
I looked at him, he looked at me, and I just decided to break my line.
Cut that right off and move about. Just move on your way.
Wise choice.
Wow. I don't know how we got off on this tangent, but Lyle, man, we were glad to have you. And I know you've got a limited amount of time. So tell us a little bit about the format of Catfish Weekly. I know you've been on YouTube for a long time. When did you start? And I know there's a big change in the format coming, I believe, here in about a week. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we started Catfish Weekly. This is our 4th year going into it, and we do a lot of remote stuff from different tournaments and different things where we'll go out and do live shows at different locations. But basically, it's a show every Monday night, and we've been on YouTube for 4 years now. And what we're changing is the format will now be broadcast live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, which should gain us a great number of viewers. So more people can get involved with what we're doing, and that will help our sponsors a little bit. And this started out, when I took it over completely, it was a half-a-day job a week, and now it's a 5-day a week job. So, it's really grown, and we try to have the greatest guest in the catfishing world that we can have on it. We have a prize wheel that Cindy spins, and we give away stuff. And I've got Doc Lang, one of the premier catfishing guys in the United States, as a co-host with me. We've been doing this and with great success, or I feel it's great success, with a lot of good feedback. So we're very pleased with the way it's worked, and we're going to continue to do it.
Great. Well, we're excited to be part of it.
Well, we're excited to have Excel Boats come on and help us out. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to get J. Paul and maybe you, Dave, back on the show with us. We'll have a great time.
That's my next question. You said you have nothing but outstanding guests. I thought
That's going to
I was thinking, oh shit, I guess we're going to be on.
One of the favorite guys that we've ever had on was Jeff Dodd, and we've had George and Bill Dance on several times, but Jeff Dodd, we really need to get Jeff back on. He is such a great guy, and he's so fun. Cindy and I had a chance to go for a boat ride and fish with him a day here a year or so ago, and man, what a talent in the catfishing industry.
Jeff is a great, great guy. I'll tell you what, he lives right down the road from me. He's a dang good neighbor. We hook up and bass fish every once in a while, and yeah, he has been great. By the way, you've mentioned Cindy a couple of times now. For you guys and those of you out there listening, Cindy is Lyle's lovely wife and also his fishing partner in every tournament that I've seen him in. Cindy loves to fish, is just a really, really, really nice person. And she's the Vanna White of Catfish Weekly, spinning that zip wrap prize wheel every week.
That's a fact. Her and I've been fishing tournaments together for a long time, and on some of the tournaments where you're allowed to have an extra person in the boat, we'll have an extra person sometime. But we've been doing everything. She knows what to expect out of me, and I know what to expect out of her. If we have a good day, it's great, and if we don't have a good day, it's still okay.
Amen.
Yeah, it's all about.
I have a question for you, Lyle.
Sure.
What inspired the live show? Like what happened? What did that first day look like when you were like, you know what we should do? I got an idea. Let's go live on this. Tell me about that.
Okay. When this first started out, I had a friend of mine named Paul Ragsdale called me up, and I build custom fishing rods. And he said, hey, I'm doing a radio deal through the internet where I interview people, and I would like to interview you about the rod. So we done that, and we got done. And I said, Paul, if there was a way that we could figure out how to broadcast this, I think that you would do a lot better. And he said, if I can figure that out, would you like to be a part of it? I said, absolutely. So the next week he calls me up and he said, hey, we're going live Sunday night. He said, I've got it figured out. And that's how Catfish Weekly started.
Wow.
Wow.
4 years later, here we are.
4 years later, yeah. And like I say, we're so proud of the people that watch the show. And we have them from several countries that watch us, because I can check that and see where that comes from. But it's amazing that so many people watch us and know who we are. We've pull into gas stations, go into tournaments and stuff, and people say, "Hey, you're the guy from Catfish Weekly," and I never dreamed of it ever going to that point.
That's interesting. Wow, that's pretty wide appeal, international appeal.
That is.
Catfishing like in Europe or elsewhere. But
one of the highlights that we had was Cindy had her eye. She had a little cancer under her eye removed, and she goes in there, and the doctors, they say, "Hey, I know you." And,
that's great.
It's in Columbia, Missouri, and it's that's like 2-hour drive for us. So, I go in and have my shoulder worked on, and while they're working on my shoulder, my back, we're talking about filling up a guy's pond and figuring out how to put the what in it and how much of it, and it's just crazy how it's grown.
That's fantastic.
But and you have an international audience. A lot of people don't know it, but catfish are found on every continent except for Antarctica in some form or another. So
that's correct.
Thanks for answering my question. I was curious about that, whether they're throughout the world. So different subspecies, I imagine.
One of the things that amazes me, and a lot of us guys that's been in the sport a long time would have never believed it, but catfishing right now is the fastest growing fishing sport in the nation.
That's right.
And if we can keep the trend going and keep the young people and the ladies involved with it, I think there's no end to it. I think it'll just keep getting better and bigger all the time.
Oh, I agree. Do you know what my favorite thing that you that you do with the show? And I've watched a few. I'm kind of new to it, but I really enjoy it. I love that you call out your guests when people jump onto the show. You take a moment and call out names specifically live. I think that's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it's good to keep the people involved with it, and it's really hard to do, to be quite honest. The chat that we have, a chat box on the side of all of our computers that rolls, and we try to catch it. Cindy watches those, and she'll make notes and slip them to me and stuff, because there is absolutely no way you can keep up with all of them. It's fly by. I'm sure you're familiar with how that works.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey is our own star. He and Keith Mitchell there at Mud Buddy on our Mud Buddy Facebook page. Actually, on every Wednesday afternoon, have a regular Wednesday Facebook Live feature called Shallow Water Adventures with Jeff and Keith. And
nice.
I think that needs to go live on our YouTube channel simultaneously too from now.
We do. In fact, I've only looked really briefly at it, but we've talked about that a little bit, doing a multicast that way. But yeah, we've always lived on Facebook. We've not done much with YouTube with it.
Well, I think YouTube's a great venue to get out, because we also do Twitter and stuff too, but YouTube and Facebook are by far the biggest venues that we use.
Oh, for sure.
And
So,
get Dave more involved.
Sorry, go ahead, J. Paul.
And get Dave more involved too. I think Dave needs to be a more frequent guest on Shallow Water Adventures. Hey, you're not looking too excited about that prospect, Dave.
I'm just thinking what I have on my plate now.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Now let's give you one more.
I could do it. It won't be cheap, but I could do it.
Oh, I see what's going on here. We're gonna have to get like a special contract and like a whole deal to get Dave on there.
I'll have to check with my agent.
Give with his agent.
I hear you. Well, listen, Lyle, I know you've got places to be and a lot of stuff to get prepared, getting ready for that first live feed next week on both venues, and then going on to the Catfish Conference. Jeffrey and I'll be there, so Jeff and I look forward to seeing you there and to flipping around. We're going to do a Facebook Live or 2 or 3 with you there, and we'll hopefully step in on one of your live broadcasts too. So
that'd be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to see you guys. It's been a while since I've seen you. And, for those that don't know, my boat sponsor has already ordered me a new Excel Stormcat, so I'll be getting it pretty soon. And
yeah, it's about done. I looked at the production schedule yesterday. It's in finish. So
we are really, really excited about that.
I didn't know if I could announce that or not. That's why I haven't brought that up yet or not, because I didn't want you to send Doc to shoot me. So yeah, we're really, really excited. This is something that Lyle and I have been talking about since August or September of last year.
Right.
He really, I will say this, guys, and it's a fact. It's not because we're sponsors of his show or anything like that. Actually, this is born out of the fact that Lyle came to me after seeing the Stormcat 230 and said, you know what, I like my boat, but I think you guys hit a home run in that Stormcat 230. And lo and behold, just a few months later, we part. Yep, you and Cindy are fixing to be fishing out of one. And
oh yeah, we're really excited about it. We met the guy and ordered it all up, and it'll be our maroon and white or silver, and I'm excited about that. We're gonna have a big wrap put on it. We'll make sure that Excel is out there in a big way, because we go to a lot of events and stuff, and we just can't wait to get in this thing.
It's going to look sharp. Although I thought the production schedule said it was hot pink or something like that.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's a version
I'm all right
of
with
Yes. Correct. Yeah, that maroon is sharp.
That'd
It's gonna
be
a
awesome.
beautiful boat. Getting it through Precision Marine in Jefferson City.
That is correct. That is correct. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I appreciate it so much. And as always, if there's anything that we can do for you all, please let me know. And looking forward to seeing you guys down at the Catfish Conference.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and nice to meet you, Lyle.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, buddy. All right, guys. That was a heck of a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, Lyle really is a character. I've enjoyed getting to know him over the last year and getting to go on Catfish Weekly with him. And, really, lots of people look to Lyle and Doc for information in the catfish world. To have Lyle actually want to be in one of our boats, it's been quite an honor, if you ask me. I think it says a lot about the product that we're putting out there in that Stormcat 230.
I agree. I think it's a smart choice. It seems like a really great guy. I'm excited to continue to work with him.
He'll be a dang good teammate, that's for sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on next week, Jeffrey.
Yeah, let's do it. For those of you all out there, I've only been with the company, a year and a half now. I'm coming up on, this will be my first kind of the cage has been opened. They're letting me out of the building for the first time ever. I could not be more excited to be attending this conference. And I've never been to Kentucky, so I'm really excited getting to a new state, and we're going to blow the roof off of this one if we have a chance. And I say that with a little bit of a caveat, because we've got so many things planned to do, like all these different shoots and these live videos and all of this stuff, that we may not have any time to have any fun.
Oh, no. You do know that Kentucky is the bourbon capital of the world, right?
I have learned that, yes. And I am excited to immerse myself. And I fully immerse myself in that culture.
Dave, what are you thinking about this, buddy?
I'm just sad the Derby's not running. That's on my bucket list to do in Kentucky is the Derby, but
Oh yeah, a few months off for that one.
Yeah, sacrifices, I guess.
We'll find plenty to do. Plenty of good bourbon. Pecan pie, Southern hospitality.
Dave, you and I are going to have to talk later. You're going to have to he's been caged up for a year and a half. I'm really not sure, how we're going to, you may have to send a leash with him, Dave.
All right.
Yeah. I'll do
monitors,
that.
Those little blood alcohol monitors.
You got some shot collars, don't you?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact,
with 2 mile range, that'll work.
As a matter of fact, I do. The Garmin Tritronics Pro 550 has a 1 mile range.
1 mile.
I've just got to keep it within 1,700 yards. I'll be okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I am really excited. It's going to be fun. We've got just an absolute huge list of stuff that's going to happen every day of that conference with our lives. Like we had talked about earlier, Shallow Water Adventures. We're going to do a live. Keith is incredibly jealous that he doesn't get to be a part of that, but we've been talking with our fans, and they're excited to be a part of that conference and get a little sneak peek into that world. We're going to do this really amazing roundtable conversation with all of our pro staffers, which I'm most excited about. We're gonna find a great little spot and get these guys loosened up.
Yeah,
Immerse themselves in the culture, if you know what I'm saying, and and just kind of let them go, which I think will be a really interesting and unique take. These guys are some of the very tippy top of the catfish world, and you know that the stories that these guys can tell have got to be epic, and it's my goal to pull them out of these guys.
Yes, sir. We're going to have John Adams also from Warrior Cat Rods or Warrior Cat Tackle. John's been in one of our cat fishing boats, Cat Pro, for some time there now also. And John will be part of that round table. I've been talking to him a lot lately because he's got some pretty cool things going on too that we'll be talking about a little bit while we're there. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think, when you get Jeff Dodd, Ben Goebel, George Young, John Adams, you, me, all around the table together. DJ
is going to be there.
I don't know. Sounds like trouble to me.
It does sound a little bit like trouble. But maybe as long as we can catch that trouble on film and really, really capture that perfectly,
there you go. Yeah. I mean, what an opportunity to have all these guys under one roof. Doesn't happen too often. So.
No, it doesn't. And I don't know if this will make it up in time, but got a big weekend planned this weekend myself. I leave tomorrow and I'm going to be going to the National Wild Turkey Federation annual convention at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel there in Nashville. Most years, about 100,000 people go through that event over the 3 days. So it's going to be a really, really big event. And anybody there, if this does make it up before then, look for me. I'll have a buddy with me, a guy that we think a lot of, former contestant on American Idol, Mr. Dexter Roberts. That's right. It's just been announced that in the new season of The Voice with coaches John Legend, Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, and I think Kelly Clarkson's back again this time around. Our buddy Dexter's going to be on The Voice. Be really interesting to see how far he goes. And
this is going to be crazy. I'm trying not to be all starstruck, kind of. I'm excited to meet him. I mean that's impressive. I've been following him just a little bit online and stuff. Man, he is incredible. I mean, he's just incredible. And so I'm a little jealous that I'm not out with you on that one, but I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, man, I tell you, he really is an unbelievable talent. To listen to this guy's voice, I mean, he can flat out belt it out there. His career started with American Idol, and he seemed to stall out just a little bit, but he's definitely been reborn in this invitation to go on The Voice. Even if he doesn't get a chair to turn, that's quite an honor in and of itself. And at some point in March, I don't know exactly when, it'll be later in March, we will be having you guys are both going to get to hear him sing, Dave, Jeff, because we're going to have Dexter as a guest here on the podcast. A lot of people don't know it. Dexter's a huge hunter and fisherman. That's how I got to know him. So we're going to have Dexter on as not Dexter the serial killer from the HBO special, Dave.
That's why Dave's nervous. I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous.
When I first mentioned Dexter to Dave, Dave goes, "Yeah, I think I need the crazy guy on HBO or something like that." I don't remember exactly what you said, Dave.
Yeah, how'd you get that guy, J. Paul? Like, man.
No, this is Dexter Roberts. So we'll be having Dexter on with us in March. But right now, the big focus is getting ready for the Catfish Conference. 3 days of it, we'll be doing lives every day on Facebook. We will, again, be doing a live roundtable, I hope, on Facebook with some of our pros. And then Jeffrey's got a bunch of other surprises, and we get to hang out. How cool can that be?
We're going to actually be in the same general area for the first time ever.
Amen. And you'll get to meet DJ Monday. I guess he's fixing to be there.
Yeah, he'll be here.
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. I'm excited to find him.
And then Wednesday he flies to Little Rock, and Thursday
flies back, and then drives the new boat out to the Catfish Conference.
Wow. The new boat that we can't talk about, or Jeffrey will have to kill somebody.
Yes, it's a new model. I'm not even saying it's a
We
boat.
have a new paint scheme as well, a new color we've never used before. And, DJ said, man, it'll blow you away. A matching upholstery, it's going to look sharp.
It is. I believe the word he used was sexy.
There you go.
It is a sexy, but listen, I saw the lines. I happened to be at the factory a couple of weeks ago, and I got to see this boat, the prototype, before it was painted. So I haven't seen it with the sexy paint job, but when you see the lines in the rake, it is. I know you've got a couple of teasers out there, but you can't get any idea. Folks, you got to stop by and see this boat in person. The lines on this boat are awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's exciting. So if you're in that area, I mean, you've got to come out to the conference and check this out.
Great.
If you can get in line early, really, because
Yeah.
between the boat and J. Paul, I mean, there's going to be no room. He's going to have all his people, his fans there. He's going to be signing autographs. It's going to be wild.
People don't do autographs anymore. Now they want a selfie with you.
Oh, got it. Selfie. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
For the kids out there. Selfies.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing speaking of kids, I just have to get this off my chest just a little bit because this stuck with me. I was doing a live yesterday for the Shallow Water Adventures, and I was wearing it's the XL Sitka Optifade trucker hat that we had. It's a flat brim cap, and it's really nice. It's a really good looking hat, and I had at least 10 people give me the business for that hat. They're like, send it to me and I'll fix it for you, Jeffrey. And they hate the flat bill.
So you just,
come on, guys. This is a very modern, up-to-date, this is for the youth. This is the future right here. And they gave me the business.
no, that means the future is snowflakes. You just made a comment that was the biggest contradictions in terms. You said flat bill and nice cap. Those two things do not go in the same sentence.
Oh, no.
Hey, here we go. There's my flat bill. What do you think?
Listen,
You like that?
There you go. Much better. Much better.
No.
I'm just saying, everybody, it is time. It is time to open up our vision. We're like,
On the flat bill.
I'm going to bring you one, J. Paul. I'm going to make you
Hell
wear it.
free, stone cold over before you see me in a flat.
A couple bourbons, we'll get one on them.
Yeah.
Take a lot of photos.
Yeah, I will have video proof by the end of this next weekend. This Catfish Conference. I'm coming for you, J. Paul. I'm coming for you.
Well, man, I'm excited. I really am excited about having you come out, Jeff. I'm dead serious, Dave, that I'm disappointed as heck that you're not going to get to be there, but hopefully we'll get together on a trip really, really soon. And excited about all the new guests and stuff, a little bit changing our format. You guys may have noticed this week, we're going to try to have a little bit more variety than we've had in the past, and, have our guests be part of the show, but not the entire show. And really hope that you enjoy this new format. Let us know, man. Give us some feedback on our social media. Drop us an email. Let us know what you think about the new format. And also any suggested guests that you might have. Listen, we'd love to hear about it because we want to make the Excel Boats on the X podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors, the best podcast in the outdoor industry. Jeffrey is now going to be with us, hopefully, every week and every episode, not just
uncaged. The cage has been unlocked, everybody. I'm on it.
Yes, sir. So it's now a threesome, me and Jeff and Dave. And Dave's been wonderful. So gonna be cool. I hope you enjoy this new format, guys. We went way longer than we normally do, but man, I think it's been one of the best we've done in a while. And Jeffrey, I look forward to seeing you next week. Dave.
Yes. The one thing, though, I do have a party shout for you. I've just got to say, I mean, everybody out there has got to be so pleased. We can actually see Dave's face today. I mean, that's why it's the best one. That's why it's the best one in a long time. We actually have Dave's face.
It's been a while since you've been able to see my face.
Amen.
I know.
We got to make sure this keeps on happening too.
Yeah, I finally gotten over that leprosy. It took a while to get my confidence back.
Took a while.
You know,
Is that like duck
face
hunting
once
leprosy?
again,
Is that what
you know?
that is? It's what you catch when you're out duck hunting every day of the season.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, self-esteem is one thing I've never known you to have a problem with, Dave. You're very comfortable with yourself always. All right, guys. Well, listen, man, thanks so much. Really enjoyed it. And I hope all of you guys out there have enjoyed this week's edition of the On the X podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Hunting.